He wasn't even just doing it to fuck with you. He actually had to get up.
Start with Adam.
This is gonna be the first video that doesn't start with just a cacophony of butts.
Stick.
Booty.
It's fine. Storm more than it was.
Yeah, he was rushing over here.
No.
Exactly.
He ran from across the room just to deliver that to the audience at home.
I'm here
Yeah.
now with my humble meal.
No, I take it. I
Hey,
take the food. I throw the trash.
I dive into the trash.
I throw the trash away.
I'm here with what I needed.
Roll athletics.
It's fine.
I am the trash.
Roll investigation.
No,
See
you
if you find your food in the trash.
You immediately fail. There's no
Garbage.
rolling in this game anymore. I took it out.
God.
Garbage doesn't get picked up until Friday, Maje. I walk out.
Yeah,
with
it's
my
Friday
DP.
actually. I changed the time.
No.
I sped forward the clock. Get
So-
wrecked, nerd. I'm
You-
God.
So you could have forwarded the clock at any time and made it D&D night again, but you didn't. Okay.
That's right. I didn't.
Bad D&D.
Go fuck yourself.
Wow.
Bad D&D.
Wow. Wow.
Can't
Wow.
be like-
Unacceptable.
I can't believe you.
I believe it.
Anywho. Okay. Last time you got to Shrine. Shrine had big scary thing.
Sure did.
Big flesh monster. Decided to fight it because bad.
We're stupid.
Fought dad. Well, didn't fight dad. Fought thing with dad. Dad die. Very sad.
Big oops.
Big
Dad
oops.
didn't help.
Dad didn't help. Dad not very good at this. But Dad dead now, so now your
He got
problem.
impaled a little bit.
Did get impaled. This is true.
He
Could be
tried.
bad sometime.
He put in.
He just wasn't Ed enough to handle it.
You defeated Thing, but Thing said, "Doesn't matter, beat me, bitch." Ha 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 ha. But you were like, "Yeah, well, you're a bitch," and then it didn't have a retort, so you won technically.
I said 3-0 and then it was like shit and then it disconnected.
That's right. It lost its connection.
Gladys has left the chat room.
It disconnected. It lost its connection. Its Wi-Fi is ass.
Okay, champ.
So Tori is now the chief, or chief. I guess just chief. I think
Big
that's
bird.
just. I think it's unisex. I don't think it really matters.
Big Bird is what I am.
Chiefess,
Yeah.
whatever.
Big Bird.
Chieftess?
I like Big
Chief
Bird.
Yes.
Big Bird.
Sure, Big Bird. You're Big Bird now.
What's
You're big-
Japanese? What's Japanese for big?
Bigubado.
Big gubado.
Bigubado.
I hate everything about this.
Big
Anyway.
gubado sama.
You're now in charge of your village, and you, the camera. None of you know this yet, but the invasion from the neighboring country into Changsha has begun. So that's happening, but there's
Yeah.
not really anything you can do about that because you're just 5 schmucks.
Yeah.
You.
Die, Tori.
This is like if Zuko had overthrown his father before the war started.
Yeah, kind of too late.
5 schmucks and an
Really?
army of birds.
Everything changed when the wooing.
Excuse me, there's like 7 of us schmucks. Thank you very much.
Hmm
There's a
There's
lot.
like thousands of other schmucks
We are
now
like
coming into.
we're a lot of schmucks.
Mm,
We are the schmuckiest.
how dare you? I slap you.
Damn.
Slap. But yes, that is now happening off screen, but it's happening. This session will be downtime basically, so not a lot of linear progression here. Kind of the fuck you do and the time you have spent here, guys. I don't fucking know. That's your call.
Well,
I have things that could happen. You might get called by some people, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
let's establish a couple things.
Yes.
Is there in bird culture, would there be some sort of coronation for Tori? Will that have just happened?
Yes. No, I would have. She'll have some sort of coronation to a degree. She assumes the role of Chief Big Bird
Chief
of her
Big Bird.
Okay,
village. In fact, I'm
Maybe
going to move us to.
Big Ubado-sama.
that could be a fun place to start, right?
It's your call. If that's what you want to do.
Sure.
I'm not making this decision. You all are. Don't look at me.
I'm kind
There
of
is still the matter of Marosians potentially being around.
Uh,
There's
and even
Yes.
closer than you might think.
There's no Morosians here. First of all, just saying.
Oh, hold on. I gotta adjust things.
I mean, there's one among us, so
I kind of feel like
He
we.
said the line.
Yeah,
Among us.
Sus.
Among us.
Oh, Mogus.
it's kind of an open secret now. At some point,
Little
we need
bit.
to address that elephant in the room.
it's true.
No elephants. It's all your
Sounds like
imagination.
I mean,
You're an elephant.
it's not that bad considering I was just a member of a murderous bird clan, and nobody needed to address that elephant in the room.
Well,
I feel
I
like
mean,
this entire
We just spent
thing
this
has
whole
been
time doing that.
I feel like that's what we've been doing this entire time, actually.
No,
Yeah.
what are you guys
I think we
talking
came
about?
to terms with it, yeah.
That was like a while ago. Come on now.
Can I assume that
Hmm.
we've all had a long rest and I could recover my HP?
Yes. Again, time is what you're going to be here for a while. I don't know what the fuck you guys do in this time. You tell me, motherfuckers. I don't know.
Okay,
You tell
I would-
me.
Hey,
I would
look-
like to say we have rested and we have
Yeah, you tell him, dog.
gone through the yes, my familiar is speaking. Please be quiet, everybody. I would like to say that we have gone through the funeral now, and
Sure.
we have laid to rest the Tengu and Ares.
Okay.
Did you want to use that final speak with dead question and ask something of your father? Or
No,
don't have to.
because I have decided that Tori is not ready to talk to her father yet. So she
Okay.
is going to, I guess not use it. I mean, if
So,
Napano wants to use it, then fine. But I don't
I
know
have
if Tori's
another
ready to.
question related to that before we get carried
Yeah,
away.
go ahead.
What do you do with birds in bird culture? Will he have a cool crypt where we could just like slide them out of a drawer if we need them later? Or do you bury them? We're gonna have to dig them up if we want to have a little chatsy. Or do you like throw them on sick Norwegian funeral pyres and he's just an urn now and
He's
fucking-
dusted in the wind, baby.
yeah, I could see ashes in the wind. That's appropriate.
That is appropriate, actually.
I was
That
gonna
does feel appropriate.
I do
say
have a-
he was a chief. He could have been entombed in a catacomb, but DM's discretion.
No, it's your village. You tell me, bitch.
He is entombed.
Actually, that's a good
In a
point.
catacomb.
Wasn't the alternate route into the castle through a catacomb?
He died in the
This
service of
Oh, dungeon. Okay.
the village, so he is entombed underneath.
So there's some
Castle.
royal crypt then for like the
Sure. Okay. There's a royal crypt.
Pretty
Probably
much
this building right here.
Mountain Shrine.
the
Oh, yeah.
toppest of the people.
Well, what did you want to say?
I'm just trying to ask. Like, I don't remember. Didn't we send the witch off somewhere, but then never meet back up with her?
No, she sent
No,
us
she
off
sent
somewhere
you off.
and
but
never met up
then-
with her. Bitch,
She's
Well,
hiding in the mountains.
apparently.
no, she's in the village. Unless you do something about that. If you want to do something about that, I don't know.
I thought we ditched her in the mountains, like on her
No.
way there.
No,
Got
she.
lost with portal shenanigans.
She opened the
She-
portal that sent us to the path where we all got nearly drowned.
She was
She's
supposed
still
to,
where
That's
she
up in the
was.
mountains.
she was supposed to help us head off Tori's father, like intercept him, but we rolled like shit. So she dumped us in a river vaguely in the right direction, and so by the time we got onto the right path and made it to the shrine, it was too late. He had already gotten the mask.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Correct.
We never
She did
saw her
not give
again after she rifted us, trying to send us
No.
to there.
You.
And no scroll of return to go back to her or anything like that either. It was
No,
kind
but
of
we know
poorly planned.
where her safe house is. So if we wanted to find her, we probably could. But I think we don't necessarily mess with her until we know what our next objective is. If we're going to go to Olkheim and search for another relic, if we want to go visit the Zhao crater, or if we want to go back and report to Hotaru and get involved in the war that we don't know is happening.
We don't know what's happening.
I have
Or
suggestions.
you are going to be busy for like a week. So, unless your party leaves without you, you're not going fucking anywhere.
I think during that time, we'll probably just chill and do camp things. I know Nippano wants to commune with their ancestor and also go out foraging for stuff in the woods.
Gazelle wants berries. He needs
Well, you
Okay,
can
you
come
can find
foraging
berries.
with me then.
Go find berries. I don't know. Go with him. Go
He
to
needs
Pano.
more berries for Barry.
Can we make an
Okay.
assumption that we are welcome here now and can come and go from the castle, which I presume is where we're
So you were
staying?
Grant.
Yes, a part of the week, and part of what Tori is being kept busy by, not that Tori can't do anything, but Tori will just have to be staying in the village, is getting everyone on board and figuring out who's not on board and dealing with them however Tori wants to deal with them.
Yeah, like that shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's not very happy about this turn of events, so what do you want to do about that, I guess?
You
What's his
got
name again?
you cut out for me for a second there. I didn't hear you. I heard Tori is doing something.
What you're doing is you're cleaning house in the higher ups. You're getting rid of your father's loyalists. However, you see fit, Maj says. Including, I cannot remember the twat's name.
Yukio.
Yukio, that's the man.
Yukio!
So Yukio was a suck up to the chief, and with the chief gone and me now in charge, that doesn't really leave him any sort of room to complain. If he's going to be doing anything, he's going to be kissing my feet. Well, obviously I'm not pro Moros, so we're going to be severing ties with the Morosians.
Okay.
That seemed to be a going sentiment already, as it is. So that shouldn't be hard to accomplish.
Although we could, it might be better in this one case to maintain the ties that they have with them, because they do not seem to be cooperating with each other, but they do not seem to be at war either. It may be worth it to send a ambassador to any meetings with them and see what information the Morosians may be giving. But now that Tori is a known enemy of the Cladis, which is collaborating with Moros, I don't see that as a very valuable route. So
They'll know soon enough, yeah. I don't think we're going to get a chance to shank him in the back.
no, there will be no using this opportunity to gain any more insight into the Morosians / Cladis plot. So, yeah, this village is secluded and does not take well to anyone who would go against the chief. Therefore, I don't think it's really necessary to either strip people of power who, I mean, there were no pro-Morosians, really.
No, but I imagine there's probably a lot of folks who are upset with how things happened because they weren't there. They don't know what happened.
Yes.
All they know is, your fucking dad's dead.
What do you tell the people who have a dear father?
Um,
Do you tell them about the Gladys?
there is... Shit, do I tell them about the class?
Do you tell? This is actually very important. Do you tell them about the thing?
Ooh, the mask too.
I mean, the mask has historical context. Would not be. I mean, that still is your call. Nope,
I
not
mean,
that.
they might panic a bit if they knew, but an informed populace is a good thing, right?
That's not I don't know if that's a decision I want to make out of character. I think that I would rather Tori make that decision naturally while speaking to her advisors. So we'll play that scene out. How does that sound?
I mean, that's your call.
We're doing downtime anyway.
Yes, this is entire session will be downtime. The time is flexible here in this space.
All
We
right.
can kind of do whatever for this week.
Then I'd like to start with that, if we can.
Start with you telling the people.
Well, first I want
Our
to talk to the
advisors.
party members.
Okay.
So, I know that we're in the midst of political change, but I want to gather the main party members here and gather them into one of the meeting rooms at the castle, along with Yasuo, who is a witness to the final battle,
Yes.
and Dio is there too. I guess he's hard to ignore. Yes, the family dog has
Oh.
joined us.
Mr. Stock disappeared.
So I'm going to open this meeting by thanking everybody for coming here. So we've succeeded. We've overthrown my father, and now I'm in control of the village again. Well, not again, but we won't be supporting the Cladis or Moros in any way. But from what I saw and from what we've gathered, they were already on the outs with them anyway. So, that being said, it seems like most of the Tengu and the Tengri village in general does not know about Cladis, or exactly why I had to come, and the circumstances regarding Ares' death and why I'm now the chief. They accept it because this is a warrior village, and that's just kind of the way things go. Most of them may assume that I've just slain my father and taken over, but we know that that's not true. So I'd like to hear from everybody else what their opinions are on it. If we should reveal the existence of the Cladis to the villagers. This is my decision to make, but I feel that maybe being open and honest with my village might be the best step forward for letting them grow and understanding the world, because this place is somewhat isolated from the rest of the world. And Theo, shut up. The rest of the world is that we are isolated and they fear us, but I don't believe that that's a very long that's a long term life plan for this village in general. I don't think that we should be attacking strangers for entering our territory and also waging war on others and trying to gain more territory. I don't believe my father's plan for conquest would have helped him defeat the Cladis, since he only had one plan, which was to gather artifacts. But if that's the way to do it, then I think that it would be better if everybody was on board with the same plan and know that why we oppose Moros. So,
Well,
with that being said, yeah, please share your thoughts.
your people are also going to question why, after you become ruler, you suddenly have to turn around and leave again. So we have to tell them something.
Yes, that's true. I've played around with the idea of creating a regent to run in my stead. And given the time spent together and earning Yasuo's trust before, I'm considering him for the position if he is willing to take on the responsibility.
So yeah, so here in the room with us.
Yes.
I apologize because you're offering what position? I missed that part.
Regent, temporary village leader, while Tori goes on with the party to continue the adventure and fight the Cladis.
He will hesitantly accept such a position.
If other concessions must be made to aid in the process, since it is a large responsibility, I will, hear out any of other plans that may be better. I could maybe turn over leadership of the village to you and Norio, if you would like, but perhaps we should discuss this later once the main matter has been discussed. That being said, let's continue on. What do you think? Wei, what do you think? How do you think the people would react to knowing that the Gladys are a force that's attacking us exists?
Depending on how your civilization is, panic. You're going to risk opening up everyone to not fearing anything from outside trade. No one knows who Moros is going to all be dealing with. So you may actually hurt your overall economy.
True.
Wouldn't a hit to the economy be better than smuggling in Cladus jerky?
But what goods do you rely on in the village?
Everything that the village needs, the village produces. It's a self-sustaining economy, but I don't believe it's the right way for the village to exist in the future. I think that the way it is now, it will only degrade in the future and fall into poverty and failure. If it is no longer a warring state, the people will not have anything to really live for besides being a small farming village that could be conquered by anyone else in the future. But, I mean, hang on. Dio, shut up. He's distracting me, sorry. Dog. I'm gonna recollect myself. I don't believe that being afraid of the Cladis will destroy the village. I think it will make them stronger to be more wise about the world around them. And
Unless their neighbor becomes a Cladis.
Unless their neighbor becomes a Cladis, you're right. So there must be another way to detect Cladis in our own people.
So far, we only have like owl vision and auto sense. That's about all that we have.
So it would probably only result in a widespread panic. It would probably destroy the village. And then if Tengri fled from a village that they didn't believe was safe, word would spread of the Cladis and cause mayhem across the country, and that might be exactly what they want. People in
There's
chaos
already
easier to take control of, after all.
wasn't that
Especially-
already a concern in Changsha?
That is a growing concern. I believe that Hotaru may have more resources that she's found now to maybe sense or screen individuals for it. She seems like a resourceful person with many magical artifacts at her disposal. I'm sure that with enough given time and research and her experiences, she could maybe come up with her own way of finding the Cladis.
Well, the way I see it, if your village is to continue to thrive, you either need to maintain your presence of strength, or you need to find friends. You did mention there were other tribes of Tangri in the mountains themselves, but then there's also the matter of us needing to go back and help Hotaru anyway. So there could be an alliance formed out of that.
I believe that the alliance formed with Hotaru that we have already made will still hold true now that we've
Now that you're leader.
Now that I'm leader, yes. Now we can form an official pact with them, and through strength and strength and a new leadership, we may be able to reform alliances made with other Tengri villages that were previously destroyed by my father.
Probably will have to. Sorry. You'll probably have to make some reparations.
Tributes will likely be necessary. You are correct.
Like berries. Speaking of, do you have any? I'm out.
We can go foraging for berries later. Or maybe just you could find those in the kitchen.
You can forage for berries as you like. I have granted you sanctuary. You are free to walk the village and the mountain as you please. Any Tengu who may attack you will have to answer to me.
Before we leave this place, wherever you decide we should head to next, you mentioned an oracle of some kind. Do you think it would be prudent to elicit their advice?
Well, considering how strange the world has gotten lately, that wouldn't be a bad idea. The oracle is on the highest point of the mountain, so it would be maybe a day's travel to get there, but consulting them should not be difficult as long as they are willing to speak with us.
I don't see why not. You're the new big bird. It's probably customary for the chief to go and talk to the mountain hermit
Yes.
once they're coronated. Look for guidance and figure out what kind of ruler you want to be.
True. We'll consult the oracle before we depart from the mountain. I think our next step will be returning to the... God, what are you two doing? Anyway, I think our next step will be rendezvousing with Hotaru and assessing situation in God.
Letting her know about the developments, what's happened here,
Yes, thank you.
and seeing
Yeah.
if she's figured out anything, see if we can maybe hitch a ride with Eldon back to his home base.
That would be good. We do need to regroup with Eldon as well. We need to talk more about the core and the plan of the Cladis to strike there.
And maybe see if he knows anything about these relics.
Yes, if there are more to be found. Plus, we'll have to come up with a. We will have to update them regarding the Morosian Tengu alliance, and we will have to. Yeah, we'll have to regroup.
Alright, well, if we're not going to tell your people about the Cladis, then what will you tell them when we have to leave the village? I suppose you could tell them that we're going to unite the scattered Tengu tribes. Or...
I don't necessarily want to lie to them. Concealing the truth about the Cladis will be the number one priority, but we do not have to tell them lies either. They're most likely in fear of retribution from the other Tengu tribes now that my father has been ousted, and may seek to attack us under in the midst of the new political change. Therefore, I will tell the village that I am going to secure an alliance with Empress Hotaru. This will strengthen our village, and also it may lead to future changes and trade in the village, to know that now we have a friend who does not live specifically on the mountain.
That's workable?
Yes. From there, we will press on to the headquarters of the last tower. Rendezvous with Eldon. Speak to the leader of the last tower about the core, and figure out our next steps for dealing with Moros and the Cladis.
That seems logical.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. Well, is that it for this scene then? Move on to coronation.
There's nothing else. I don't know if
Um,
Lyle or Otto or UA have anything to say.
I've just been listening at the moment because I got a phone call and missed the setting of the scene.
We were discussing what to do about the Cladis situation, if we tell the village or not, and we decided that would just cause chaos, so
I
we are going to...
I kind of gathered that much. I did hear the discussion, just the setting of the stage. You know, where are we? What are we doing?
We're in a private room in the castle.
Okay, thank you.
It's just the party plus Yasuo.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I guess Lau's only input is, you know, well, he's resting. He's kind of roughed up from this last fight still, but his only input, he says, well, you know, sooner we get out of here, the better. This place is kind of out in the boonies, and, you know, if we get to see the princess, hey, count me in.
That's an honest answer.
Empress.
Sure, if you say so.
UA, Otto, how do you feel? Anything?
Otto's being quiet for now.
UA shrugs. I don't really. This is kind of out of my experience. I don't know.
Is Otto still Vidar?
No.
No, he took that off.
Took his
No,
tiara
he's-
off. No longer a pretty princess.
Very well, then. After assuring the change and the establishment of the regent, as well as I want to go with Napano around town, and I want to look now that we're no longer sneaking through the village. I want to actually go and take a walk and see just how infected the people are, how bad the Cladis situation is here in the village. Which the village, I came up with a name for it, by the way. I'm going to call it Nest, because I don't want to call it the village anymore. Its name is Nest.
The nest. Gotcha.
The Nest. Nest.
I like
Okay.
Yes. So, I will have Napano accompany me, and we'll use the owl eyes to, look for Cladis.
You don't find any. You find
Nobody?
none. No one. You find none.
Really?
There are no Cladis here that you can see. We're not gonna narrate you walking the entire streets. I'm just gonna tell you grand scale. You walk through the village, checking people without alerting them that you're checking them. I'm presuming because you're not telling them that the class exists. So you're just walking around, looking at everyone, and you don't find a single one.
And none of the castle either?
Nope.
Interesting.
Good.
How are the people reacting to Tori?
The common people, the people who are not Tengu and such, are actually kind of relieved to not be under Ares' thumb anymore, because he was kind of a very militant kind of asshole. And they're hoping that Tori is not that, given that she dethroned him. So they're pretty chill with it.
How are they reacting to the presence of outsiders like the rest of the party?
Mostly indifferent.
Okay.
Some of them are a little suspicious, but mostly indifferent.
I was gone for a
The
while.
Tengu, though, and the soldiers are mixed. Some didn't like the shit they were having to do and working for Rosians, and are relieved they no longer have to do that, and that Ares is no longer in charge, because again, harsh asshole. But some are kind of bitter because they believed that he did make the village stronger. It did expand their reach. They do have more resources than you do find out. They do have more resources than you've ever seen them have in their
So they're-
stockpiles.
So they're doing pretty well now.
They're doing pretty well from all the conquering and plundering.
I may make it an order to return what has been taken from the Tengri villages as the first step in reestablishing a neutral / friendly alliance.
Well, that will take time because you'll have to figure out what goes where and who's there to receive it. Thus, increasing the amount of time you're going to have to stay here. Because Yasuo suggests you do not leave before you resolve this.
I have to agree, honestly. If I just left, it wouldn't be a very good picture.
And I'm, in grand scale, I'm going to say that starts to become the theme of your week and perhaps next 2 weeks. Is that you realize there's so much shit you have to do is now that you're in charge, and it just keeps piling on. And you can't not do it because that would be even worse.
I'm becoming the leader of the village.
He also has said multiple times, do not put this evil in it.
I'm not gonna do this. Well, I'm going to at least establish Yasuo as a second in command of some sort, so that he has to share this responsibility with me. Therefore, it goes by faster.
Not that much faster. Bureaucracy is complicated and annoying, motherfucker. You don't get to weasel your way out of this. You
I'm
guys are
just
gonna be here for a couple weeks.
I'm doing my best, okay?
You don't get to. This is downtime, motherfucker. You don't
Okay.
get to just weasel out of it.
In that case,
Sure.
fine. I'm going to
Also,
be yeah.
you've
Yeah.
had enough time. Tori pushes you into bin. Who else wants to do something?
During the downtime, can I examine the soul mask?
Sure.
And also, does Wei still have Yukio's Tomb of Souls?
Is what?
Be right back.
Yeah, my what?
Wei took a book from Yukio earlier, a Tome of Souls. I wanted to cross-reference the book with the Mask of the Forgotten, see if it tells us any more about how to use it or the lore around it.
There was something in Yukio's library, in his little office there, that was swiped a book.
Yukio's? You mean
Or-
Ares'?
It was Ares, yeah. We
Okay.
when
Yeah, that.
we were sneaking away from Yukio.
That's where you confused
That's
me.
right.
No.
Yeah.
Thought he took it from the library.
Yeah, the library is Ares' library.
Okay. Well,
You
then
mean
that.
Tori's library?
Well, yeah, technically not Tori's library.
The boss
Either way,
bird.
Yeah, I mean, I can return the book now. It's no big deal. We have easy access to it.
There was a
Don't do
book
that.
called The Tome of Souls, and I want to read it and see if it tells us anything about the mask.
Let's see. Would it talk about the mask specifically? No, I don't think it would, because the mask is related to this village, and it's a legend. It's a story of this village. The book, however, is more on just kind of a posturing and thesis on the nature of souls. And what is a soul? How do you define a soul? Is a soul big? Is a soul small? Is a soul... Can you take a soul? Can you not take a soul?
Does a soul return its shopping cart to the trap?
Does a soul come back to life after death? Does it reincarnate? Does a soul go somewhere else when it dies? And it suggests a lot of magical theory about how you can mess with souls, but then postures that perhaps what you're not messing with is not the entire soul, but a fragment of it. And that is what you manipulate when you put a soul in a thing. You're not really putting the entire person's soul in a thing. You're putting a fragment of that soul in the thing. and stuff like that, and kind of goes on like introducing a point and then introducing a counterpoint and then going back and forth of like maybe it's this, maybe it's that. It's largely just a bunch of theories.
Subjector from people who have never
Yes.
died. So follow-up question then. If I have some time with the mask, can I use Speak with Dead to communicate to the souls within it? Or would I have to put the mask on in order to do that?
I mean, you can put the mask on, and that will definitely let you talk to the people who are inside the mask. You just have to be careful about doing that.
Yeah, we're a little bit hesitant, and we're trying to understand more about it before we just put it on willy-nilly. But so we can't
Really?
cast a spell, Speak with Dead. We can't use our owl soul to talk to the mask soul.
You have to ask a corpse to speak with dead.
Okay.
There is no corpse here. It's just a mask with a fuck ton of souls. Maybe.
Gotcha.
You don't know how many souls are in there. Could be a lot, could be a little. You have no idea.
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, you don't know. Who knows? You put on the mask. Maybe you'll find out. Or maybe you won't.
Don't feel like doing that right now. Okay, just wanted to see if we could get some easy answers from a book. We'll skip over that then.
No easy answers for you. Though you should ponder the nature of souls.
We know a little bit about souls and what happens to them after death.
Do you? Are you
A
sure
little
about that? Are you sure about that? Wiggles eyebrows.
Maybe it varies from culture to culture, religion to religion, but we know better than some stuffy bird people who have never died, certainly.
Interesting. Wiggles eyebrows some more. Ooh.
If Napana does not wish to ponder the tome, maybe Adam would.
Sure, we'll pass
I mean,
the
you can
book
ponder
to Adam.
together. Let's just
Yeah,
assume you're
yeah.
like together, because you're both from. Maybe you're just chilling, and you're just looking at it. Okay. Well, I
think
guess
that's
with the two, between the two of you, what are you trying to get out of the book? Like, give me what are you trying to verify or confirm out of the book? Because you're not getting anything about the mask, but you might get something about souls, and like what a soul is exactly. Maybe you could piece something together more solidly, or not.
I think I would want to know, like, because they're the thing that's fundamental to all things, and the thing that can really hurt the Claudius. So, like, how do you bring that to bear, I guess, in a fight? What allows you to imbue certain attacks with super effective soul power?
Okay, that's an angle. Adam, you got an angle to add to that, or do you agree with that angle?
No, that was more or less what he was thinking.
Okay.
Kind of as like a particular tale from his village came to mind of one of his extended family who slayed a monstrous creature with the power of their soul. And
Sure.
so, or at least it seemed to be power of their soul based on the information he's experienced and kind of witnessed from his own dealings in the last encounter. So he's wondering if there's any sort of reference to that, like perhaps
Okay.
it's something that can be learned.
All right. I'll let either you decide to do this. Give me a spout lore, either of you, and if one, you can help the other, so you can roll 3d6 and take the highest.
Let's see.
Neither one of
Mine
you.
is gonna be. I'm at +0 for that, so I'll assist you.
I'm at -1 for that, but sure.
Oh God. Okay, no, you.
Wait,
the
so
minus
you said we could both roll and we'll just take the highest, right? Or did you mean
No, you give you can assist the
give
other.
advantage? Okay.
Yes, you give advantage.
I will give Nabano an advantage.
All right, Napano, roll 3d6 and we'll take the highest, as you don't have any to add to it. Just a simple 3d6, I guess. So 2 4s, so that's an 8. Okay. So that means that let's
Tell us.
go ahead and look at spout lore.
GM tells us something interesting. It's on you to make it useful.
Okay. The book rambles quite a bit because it like goes through all these theories from different places and different schools of thought of like what a soul is. Well, demons like souls because they like to take them for things. But oh, what if the thing this a demon takes is not the soul, but the parts of a soul? Because it or this for this reason or that, or souls are very small, they're very fragile things. Just kind of rambling, going back and forth with that whole different ideas about how souls can exist. But kind of as it gets closer to the end, it kind of comes to this idea that a soul is something that can kind of just spawn itself. A soul can just form out of a thing at times. And when that happens, its nature changes and becomes kind of unknowable. It kind of goes in the idea that the nature of a soul being very kind of unknown is kind of where its strength lies. You don't know where a soul comes from. You don't know how a soul forms. And that kind of is why they're such powerful things. No one really truly knows what they are, where they come from, or how they work.
Well, that.
Hmm.
I mean, we've seen that with the case of some of our weapons and auto. So yeah, we kind of knew that already, but the fact that it happens spontaneously.
And there are factors that can contribute to it, like certain situations can cause a soul to arise in some way. It can cause a person to, like, that becomes manifest, that power. It just requires certain situations.
The weapons make sense to us, especially if someone were to die wielding it. We could see their memories imprinting on the sword,
Or a mask,
Whatever.
even.
Sure.
That seems to be the concept behind this mask, is that it's the power of several souls drawn into a single artifact.
I forget. Do we know whether the souls went into that mask willingly, or whether they got absorbed and slurped up somehow?
The implication from what Tori told you the story was, from her recollections, was that it was an intentional thing.
Okay. So I don't necessarily need to don the mask and ask, how do I free you guys from your eternal torment?
Yes, it was a noble sacrifice of sorts.
Not that I want to depower our biggest weapon against the Cladus, but like,
Indeed.
I am all about like returning souls to rest. Well, cool. I don't know if we're gonna get any more from that.
No, probably not from the book, but it does give Adam some ideas of, especially given the transformation that his spear took on. So that is definitely a thing he'll be kind of pondering in while we spend time and focusing on to sort of learn more about the spear.
As I look over the mask, Maja, do I get the idea that because of my experience, would I have an easier time adapting to the multitude of voices in the map, or would it be harder because there's just the overpowering of voices.
Would you have an easier time? I'm afraid I cannot tell you that without you just trying.
Yeah. Okay, well, we already said it was like Tori's signature thing, unless she was incapacitated, but I'm fascinated by it. But that's all I'll say on that now. We can move to a different scene.
Okay. Who else wants to do something? Anything.
Anything?
Way wants to do research on the village.
Okay, what you want to research, buddy? Do you want anyone with you?
People can join me, I guess, if they want. Way is going to be pretty boring. I'm actually going to be looking up some of their military records and
Okay.
trying to find out what they've been training, how they've been training, see what I can learn from their training, and then also trying to see who they've been trading with and how their trade has been going.
Interesting.
So their trade and their training, or just their trade? Were you saying training
Yes.
and trade?
Yes, on both.
Okay. I had to make sure because I started when you started keep going. I thought I started mishearing you, so just making sure.
Yeah, all good.
Okay. As far as their training goes, you probably have met at least one Tengu or seen one Tengu before you've come to this side of the continent, so you know vaguely how a lot of them fight, or at least you've surmised, but you kind of get some confirmation here in that a lot of them are focused on stealth and using their wind to kind of maneuver themselves quicker, going for lighter armors and just kind of going for quick attacks, trying to like zip around someone so they can stab them in the back, or zip around someone so they can get above them so they can take advantage of that situation. A lot of just kind of tactics to do that. You do find that there is some of these Tengu do have like schoolings and some magic of illusion to like facilitate that more. So you kind of get the general idea that they're kind of trained. They're still soldiers, but they're leaned more almost toward being assassins, which I mean, you kind of figured that. But their like military tactics in a battle still lean on that pretty heavily. At least these Tengu do, at least. A lot of distracting, trying to get a good advantage position so you can do ambushes, and trying to just break ranks through fear and surprise and chaos. Because you do know going through the trade logs that this village is not huge. There's a good amount of people, but a normal city could easily, if the army of a local nation decided to march up here, and this was like its own nation, they would be pretty outnumbered. So they kind of had to lean on those advantages they have. That's why you can kind of guess they have mountain villages to lean on that advantage of like being in a place that's very difficult to get to and difficult to assault, and make it very hard for them to be attacked and make it easier for them to counterattack. That makes sense on that
Gotcha.
front?
I understand. Is anything in the records that I find regarding to Eggy or his magical badass spear?
In terms of from here, no. He didn't come from these mountains.
Okay,
At least as far
you
as we
never
can
know.
tell.
Maybe
Sure.
Tengu respect Tengu. You never know.
You know, I know. You do find records of like, I think there's like I think well, no. I'm gonna make you roll to see if this happens. Give me a, God, is this a spout lore? I guess. Just give me 2d6 plus your wisdom, I guess.
Okay, cool. That is a 4 and a 3, so that's 7.
7. Okay. You do note, as you're kind of looking through these logs and looking through what things have been traded around and past hands, you do find that there's a registry of a sword coming through here and having already been sold for like a pretty high price, you find too. that had a similar maker's mark to what you find on your spear.
Gotcha. Do we have a name for this sword, or?
Oh, what is the name of this sword? It's a great question. Hmm. Let me find a cursed sword. Hold on.
Tawonga.
Don't say you
No.
are Kaiti.
Don't say Kami Slaya.
Kami Shreya would be a great name for a sword. Shut up.
Shut up. Stop making fun of me.
I think it's a good name.
I
What does it
still adore it.
Don't
I don't care.
patronize me.
I still adore it. I'm serious.
Yeah, whatever.
Part of ZV
You should-
history.
You should name it Mage. The sword Mage.
The Mage is a great name for a sword.
Your Bloodbane's a good one too.
Oh my god.
Juichi Osamu.
No.
Jiao Chuan.
You know what? Fuck you. It is just you, son.
I missed
Just-
that. What's the name of it?
Juichi. Hold on. Let's see if I remember how to spell it.
You could do
Juichi
it. You could do it.
Osamu.
Jirachi, like the Pokemon?
No.
Yeah, you got it. No, actually, it's one U, another I.
There's
Oh.
two eyes.
Yeah, Juichi.
I have Juichi. Am I close?
Juchi Samu.
I put it in the chat. So I
I'm
guess.
looking at the chat. I don't see it.
Oh,
Actu-
the,
no, actually, you're right. I remembered it wrong. The kanji.
Ah! Fuck
Oh,
you!
Oh.
Is that not Juichi?
My sword! I'll put it in the actual Discord chat for you.
There we go. Now I see it. I got it.
Okay. Were you close? It sounded like you were pretty
Yeah,
close.
I just, a little bit off.
You're good.
Is this the blade maker name, or this the name of the blade?
This is the name of the blade.
Okay.
Blade Maker's name is Joe. Just him. No, wait, it's Shin.
The blade maker's name is Joel.
No, it's Shin. Everybody knows that. Jesus.
Will he sing me a song because he's the sword band?
Yes.
Then the translation of that name is 10,000 Silent Nights.
Sounds edgy.
Yeah, well, yours is called Humans Have No Bones, so...
Yeah, mine's metal. It's better.
I mean, you know what? I ain't gonna argue with that. I agree, so it's fine.
Hey, 10,000 Silent Nights is a good album name, so there.
Sounds like a Disturbed album.
Probably.
10,000 Fists in the Air, yeah.
10,000
Christmas
Silent
album.
Nights in the air.
10,000 Silent Nights in the Air.
But yes, they have the same maker's mark.
That's alcohol.
But as far as like what that means, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but
Means these swords are
You have
drunk.
guessed. the swords are drunk. Yes, Storm's correct. They're drunk swords.
That's the lore. Good luck.
I hate you.
You're the one who said Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark is alcohol.
I'm going to throw myself out this window.
Roll for
No,
Dex.
Storm, that's a bourbon. We're in Japanese area. They only drink sake here.
Bourbon. No, they import bourbon over there. Actually, you're welcome. By the way, now you know more about the world.
Day I learned Muro says bourbon.
Everybody imports bourbon because it's only made here. It's like champagne,
I
and we have
hate
bourbon.
everything right now. I'm hating the world. Is there anything else you would like to look into?
I don't think so. Did I learn anything about who they've been trading with?
Oh, people they're trading with. So they are trading with the people they have conquered on the other mountain villages. So you do find some names of other mountain villages in this mountain. And I believe, let me look at the map here. The mountains to the south of the one you're on right now. They have not gone to the mountains north of your mountains. A lot of mountains here. Yet. So it's kind of spread between those two mountains is what he's quote unquote conquered.
Are you trying to show us on the map because we're still in the
No.
village?
I know.
Okay.
I'll point it out to you. Well,
Cool.
bam, we're here now. Hello.
Oh.
You guys are here. So a lot of villages in these mountains. And a couple villages in the southern mountains.
Okay, so not like anything exotic from elsewhere in the
No.
world.
Not
From-
really. I mean, there is some records of like getting trade from some things they've stolen off the roads between those two mountains, from like Krestov to Shinshan or going to Andoran, etc. They have stolen some shit.
So more or less, if they've been trading with them, and this village has remained cloudless, then those places are probably safe as of now, most likely.
Yes.
Question. When we were talking to the wizard girl, did she tell us that Vidar was in Yokohama or in Krestov?
I believe you've been Krestov is what I said.
Okay. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I will be right back.
Okay. Any other questions?
I think I lay a card face down and pass my turn.
Okay. So you spend time going over records at the castle while everyone. So you're doing that. Okay. What is who anyone else? Who's got something to do? I point the camera at Lyle forcibly.
Hell yeah, go lay an egg with someone.
I actually had a question that might influence what I would be doing.
Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
My clock is at 3. It's been a few days.
Yes.
Have I experienced any concerning side effects since our battle?
Ooh, that's a good point. Have you? Let's see. Let me think here.
Suppose that might apply to Adam as well to some degree.
You only have a 1, so you're mostly fine.
Okay.
Lyle is dangerously close.
I was at the door to that until Wei pulled me out from the threshold. So I'm
Haven't I done that twice now?
I think you've done it at least once. You might have done it twice.
My
I
clock's,
think
my
it's
clock's
only the
only
one.
my clock's only hit 4 once.
Yeah.
When you saved his life.
You did save my life multiple times.
It's true. You did save him from death like twice.
Yeah.
Both of
Recently.
them. Yep.
Do you have any side effects? I think
Do you need me
I
to
think you
roll
get a
anything,
weird-
or
no. I think what happens is you have a weird sensation of like you're like hyper aware of people's gazes, and like there's like a weird quiet in your brain. There's like like it's hard to describe, but there's like a space. You have your thoughts, but you know there's another space where other thoughts go that are not yours, and you've become aware of that now, and that just kind of sticks with you and doesn't go away.
even though it's been
The
quiet.
thought, yeah, it's been quiet. That's the part that's really freaking you out a little bit. It's like you have this space in your brain for this voice to talk to you, and it's just been silent.
I'm back now.
So like part of your brain's thoughts are cordoned off to one side, and there's this other side where these other thoughts come in, and you'll hear them you would hear them when you were really feeling it, and now it's just fucking quiet.
These scenes that we're doing are in no particular
No,
order
they're
/ simultaneous, right?
time is fucky. We're spending
Excellent.
a couple weeks here.
Perfect. So on the topic of Lyle being aware of gazes, Adam's staring at you. Woo.
You do. You
Oh.
are vaguely aware that Adam is staring at you without actually seeing Adam.
I'm feeling.
But Adam is not aware of Lyle in that way.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, he is staring at Lyle for other reasons.
there's also that. But yes.
Well, needless to say, Lyle has been feeling very paranoid. You might have noticed he has been a little quieter the last few days. He hasn't been loudly interjecting himself with stupid comments quite as often. Seems
Been
a
kinda
little deep in thought now. It's been a few days since the big fight. Lots been going on. Easy to overlook. People been busy, but nonetheless. So, as Lyle's been hyperfixating on this a little bit, he can't quite get that nagging feeling out of the back of his skull. He can't help but feel like, he has company at all times. He's been maybe
Yeah,
drinking.
bro's single and he's married.
Been drinking a little bit more lately. Punishing his liver where he can't punish his brain.
It does very little to help, unfortunately.
Okay, so as I recall, we have established that the Tengri, or I should say that Ares and his Tengu were not on board with the Morosian plan to spread the Cladis.
No. Largely, they had no idea that was going on.
They had no idea that was going on. And I'll say by this point, Tori and Napano have done their little sweep and have reported back that everything seems cool on the brainworm front as far as the nest goes.
How on the subject of if everything's cool in the nest, how does Lyle look when I look at him?
He's fine. There's like a little fuzziness in his brain, like where his brain should be, but not that much. Not. It's like a little fuzz, like a little fuzzy.
He's not like blacked out.
No.
We'd make a joke out of that if it weren't serious.
Could just be that he's inebriated.
Okay.
Also true.
We've also, just to make sure I got my facts straight, we've established that by the time of Ares' death, he had already become, I don't know if I would say openly hostile, but fed up with his cooperation with Moros, and Tori, assuming power, has openly, if I'm understanding correctly, we're openly rejecting the alliance with Moros.
Yeah. I wasn't sure how we'd go about that. I feel like that might be another, like the next step too, is cutting ties with them. I'm not sure if we would because they're all gone, right? All the Morosians in the
Yes,
village
as
are-
soon as Ares died and where things were already frayed, they kind of pieced the fuck out.
Yeah, so they probably also abandoned the pact.
So it doesn't seem to be a formal Morosian presence anymore.
They're nope. Yep.
You were the only
Correct.
Morosian in the village.
Is that a
Possible.
fact?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say, given all of this information, then after a long session of being glared at by Adam. Lyle feels uncomfortable, and he's gonna get up and he's gonna claim he's going out for a walk to get some air, and he's gonna try and slip out of the castle.
Where'd you go?
Where are you going
Off.
to?
I'm going to hit the streets, kind of do my usual thing. Lyle's gonna be, looking for seedier parts of town. I don't know how much of that this town's got, considering it was kind of a militant rule. But you got to figure, where there's rules, there's rule breakers.
There's got to be at least like 1 or 2 taverns in the town. Like, it's not like a strict fucking military village, I don't think.
It was. Less now.
Well, would you say that there are things like
There's
out in the
tavern.
open taverns, or would it be more like underground speakeasies or what have you?
I'm of the opinion that no village can exist without a bar. So there has to be something.
There is a tavern bar, like a community center, basically.
Called
For
the Bird
the-
Feeder.
It is called.
They would not. God damn it. Okay, it's the Bird Feeder. I hate all of you.
This is all Sorum's doing.
I know.
Well, I don't know about a out in the open community center, but I'll just be out front. I'll be upfront about it. I'm gonna be trying to track down if there are any Morosians left in the nest. Asking around, play some dice, make some friends, do some snooping.
Okay. What kind of role would you like to do?
Let's say
Nah.
this one here. I'll use this one right here.
Connections. Very well. Rolled a 9. I think there's like there were some Tengu here, or not Tengu, Tengri. Fuck. Bard.
Morosians?
No,
Birds.
Tengri. There were some Tengri here that were on the down low, and kind of trying to keep out of Ares' sight and out of his thumbs. So there is somewhat of a kind of hidden presence here, not like a big criminal presence, just kind of like almost revolutionaries, maybe? It's heading that way if things didn't turn out the way they did.
People who weren't really happy with the rule of law.
Yeah, people that were not pleased about the turn of events and were possibly going to do something about it eventually. But
So
now
they're-
that's kind of become a little uncertain, so they just have all this infrastructure they made. What little they had, it wasn't much, but it was there. You do learn from like connecting with these folks, from like some secret, some just kind of playing card games, knowing how to read people, knowing how to spot these kind of underground things, these hidden people. They kind of, kind of recognizing you as one of the people that's stuck into town, because you kind of become a little famous here.
You stand out without wings.
There's also that.
Yeah.
You're also Morosian, and they've seen a few of those now, so they do know where you're kind of from, generally. But and they know you're with Tori, so they're not like out for your blood, but they are suspicious of you. But you kind of waylay that with your knowledge, and you do learn that a lot of the Morosians did clear out. You're not sure how exactly, but there's still some abandoned buildings. They're kind of not been checked yet. The plan is to like check those like probably the day you're doing this. So if you want to go check those yourself, you're gonna have to.
Okay. Well then, I will do nice things like buy a drink for the people that help me and maybe stiff the bar on the stiff them on the tab, or win information in a game of dice by cheating, and then go about my business to investigate one of these. Perhaps a safe house is too strong of a word, but one of these hideouts.
Abandoned house.
Hideaways.
Sure.
Whatever you want to call it.
Okay. Well.
Investigate. Look for some squatters.
For some squatters. Let me just roll something here.
I imagine we went to Laris's little hideout. That would be a little obvious to just straight up return there. I don't know if she would. I would think that would be an obvious first place to look. If you think she would still be there, maybe that's the first place I'd look.
Okay,
Otherwise,
let's start there. You head into the house that you went to hide out in. Well, you've kind of figured out you didn't actually enter that house through the front door, I don't believe. I think you
Nope.
kind of warped into there. So you don't exactly know where it is.
It's true. Fair enough.
But you think you find it. And you head inside, and it's abandoned, as it was before. You recognize it. And you hear some shuffling in the basement. Some clattering. Like someone's dropping something. Someone curses under their breath.
I'm sneak my way over there.
You sneak your way toward, well, the crawl space. The hideout, the little cave.
Yes, sir.
You lift up the little crawl space, the trap door, and you poke your head down, and you see your witch friend, or your witch quote-unquote friend, kind of like quickly try to put all her shit in a bag. And you also see like a portal behind her that's like on the floor, and she's like tossing a couple things through the hole. It's disappearing. And you kind of vaguely see inside the hole. It goes to a spot you don't really recognize.
Okay. All right.
And she doesn't seem to notice you at all.
Is this like at the bottom of some stairs or a ladder? Please don't say stairs.
Ladder.
Thank God. Okay.
I mean, what is a ladder but vertical stairs?
Well then,
That's true.
while she is distracted, then I'd like to shimmy down this ladder, position myself so that I'm standing in front of it, watching her do her thing, and possibly, surprise her when I clear my throat.
She freezes. Slowly turns her head towards you. And stares at you with wide eyes, with like 2 bags under her arms, full of crap. And just kind of stares at you.
Seem to be in a hurry, Laris.
So scoots slightly towards the hole.
I'm going to put up my hand as if to, non-threateningly ask her to stop. And I'll say, there's no need to be alarmed. Just here to
I am
talk.
very alarmed. I'm here very alarmed.
Mm.
I'm continually alarmed. Scoot, scoot.
Would like to convince her to not run away from me.
How?
Parlay?
How? You can't just say parlay, you have to tell me how.
Do I? Okay.
Yes, you do.
What's your offer?
You
What's
actually
the
have
offer?
to make a convincing
You
argument.
have to make an argument here. You can't. Otherwise, you have to roll, then make me an argument. But that feels less genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Why should she stop for now?
Say.
Why should she not leave?
Okay, well, as she is awkwardly shuffling, I'm going to speak up, say, Laris, I'm not your enemy. We were working together not just long ago. Have you forgotten?
You were tricking me. You tricked me.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Suppose,
October. Trick or treat.
suppose I do
No,
do that a lot. Lyle admits, but says, but I assure you, I'm not your enemy.
You have good reason for what you did.
I don't believe you. Scoot, scoot.
Mm.
Because you know about the class and she doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. Leverage the
Mhm.
Gladys, or maybe do that thing where your Vidar's the fake Vidar. Ours is the genuine article.
Because the way parlay works is you have to have some kind of leverage over her, but you need to offer her something, like give reasonable cause.
Oops.
Or
I know.
con, that works too.
You gotta be the rogue.
Here, let me try. I didn't mean to
Moshe,
click
what
that,
are we
but
supposed to do if our character is more suave than we are?
That's kind of what I was getting at before.
Do your best. Do your best. You don't have to speak as your character. You just kind of give me the vague notions of what you're trying to do. If you
Sure.
can't think of it, like how you're saying it, you just gotta give me something to work with here, guys. Please,
Well,
please.
I am going to use my con artist ability to ask you for leverage. How can I engage her in conversation?
You're
Damn.
engaging her in conversation right now.
You know she is very gullible,
Mm-hmm.
and you are recognizably from Burroughs, and you could leverage that by perhaps diving deeper into this game of lies. By
You're a secret agent.
perhaps that's what I'm implying. You're under deep cover, perhaps.
Very well.
Eh,
Okay.
You said deep.
Shut up. It's not even. It's nothing. That's nothing.
You could play this bitch so hard. Oh my god.
So
It's too mean, honestly.
I'm going to speak up as she continues shuffling away. Say, Laris, this is a much more complicated situation than I think you understand. I need you to believe me when I say I was acting in the best interests of everyone. I'm sorry I deceived you. There was no time to No, that's not much of an excuse. Admits. I should have taken the time to explain it to you.
Explain what? Narrows eyes suspiciously.
Lyle's gonna take a moment. Like he's thinking really hard, bring his hand to his chin, rub it. So. Are you aware of... Well, God damn it, I cannot... I've been trying to find my note file, but I have a horrible habit of naming all of my note files stuff like notes or crap information, and I've got
Dude.
like 100 of them spanning from like 4 different RPs, and I cannot
Wow.
remember which one.
Just make something up. Just
You don't just have like a folder that's like Mage campaign?
Just sort by most recent.
Do you know the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
I'm trying to
No,
remember
it's not very wise.
the name of the town that, or I guess kingdom, stateship, Hotaru reigns over.
Oh, that town. Oh, the name of the nation?
It's
Yeah.
Xingqian, right?
That's the capital.
It's the capital, so
The
Changsha?
nation.
well,
Jing-
that's where we were, right?
Yeah, that's where you were. That nation is Ronglu.
Ronglu, okay.
Hmm.
It was the wrong Lu.
Apologies.
wait. So, Hotaru is over Ronglu, not Changsha.
What?
I'm confused.
Shangcha is the capital of the nation of Ronglu, of which she is the ruler of.
So she is the ruler of
I thought
Ronglu.
Shangchan
Not-
was the name of the capital. Changsha was the region.
Yeah.
I am staring at the map, and that is what I'm seeing. But
Yes.
Changsha is the region, not the name of the nation. Everything
aha!
else, the name of that nation is not the name of that nation. That's the name of that region.
Where is Ronglu at on this map?
Ronglu is all the red states and all the red markers are part of Ronglu.
Yeah. Look at the factions map. He has the factions map put up.
I have a factions map.
Very
Yes, I was looking in the wrong place.
Can I? I will look at the factions map.
I show the players.
Okay, this is amazing. Thank you.
Well, it's on all your handouts.
Very good.
And
I knew
What-
that.
what's
Definitely.
Lyle gonna tell Laris about
Anyway,
Shanglu?
Ronglu?
I'm gonna say to her, are you aware of what's happened in Shangchan?
She stares at you, and there her eyes somehow further. Maybe.
She doesn't. She
Maybe.
definitely doesn't.
Mhm. Hmm.
I know, but just to test you, you should tell me.
I'm gonna take a gamble that she isn't in on the whole Gladys thing, and so I'm going to take a step closer to her, mostly to test if she's going to continue shuffling away from me.
She scoots 1 foot closer to the hole, but only one. Doesn't scoot.
Okay.
It's an improvement.
So, stop. I'll say. There's a faction that has infiltrated our Lyle hesitates, really trying to lay on that, he's like, I shouldn't be telling her this, but, it's like, I'm gonna trust you, Laris. And Shangsha, we encountered a group that has been infiltrating not just Lord Vidar's circles, but all of our circles. It's a pervasive group.
A conspiracy is what you're saying?
Suppose you could put it that way.
Yeah, so? So what? What are you trying to say? I got places to be. If you don't get to a point here, I'm gonna go through this hole, and I'm never gonna stare at your stupid face again.
Damn.
I mean, she's right though. Get to the point, or get off the pot.
Figure out how
I'll
she
frown, contemplate whether his face really is stupid or not. Decide no, it's the Laris that are wrong. Will my face really be stupid? No. Say. It's a disease, Laris. But something much worse than that.
Show her your battle scar.
It's being spread amongst our people, not just by our people, but amongst them. It's
Why?
I don't know to what end just yet, but it threatens control.
Okay, I will spare you from having to continue the conversation to convince her, and you can roll parlay now.
Thank you.
She is curious about what you're talking about now. You have the leverage of her attention. So you do advantage. So roll another d6 for me.
Okay. 7s across the board.
No, that's not what I meant to do.
Oh, you just want me to roll another d6?
Yes.
It's not great.
God damn. Okay, you have a 7 then, I guess.
You highlight most of my rolls. They usually have a 1 somewhere in there. It's getting old, frankly.
They ask for something in return, and if you make them a promise or give them concrete assurance right now.
I'm going to add. I need information, is what I need. But I'm not going to ask you to put yourself in danger. I just need a small favor, if you would. If I could count on you to deliver something and make sure it reaches who it's intended for.
I want credit if you're right. It's a big conspiracy, so maybe I can get my spot in intelligence back.
Credit? Well,
right.
Laris, credit would obviously be yours, wouldn't it? After all, if I do manage to expose something that threatens the leadership of Muros. I mean, I couldn't have done it without you.
That's right. Don't you forget it. So what do you want me to do?
Lyle's gonna hesitate for a moment before reaching into his cloak, and he's gonna take out a white envelope with a wax seal sealing it, and it will be a seal of a prominent house Laris might recognize. He's going to show it to her, and he's going to say very carefully and deliberately, says, I need you to make sure that you personally hand off this letter, not to somebody else. Don't just hand it to a courier. Because of your abilities, I know you're uniquely equipped for this. I need you to make sure that this goes back home and reaches Duke Grimstad. Can you do that for me?
And we're gonna end the scene there because the agreement is made. I feel like that's a good place to end on, of you handing her this letter and telling to give to someone, because you have passed the role and she's going to do that on the condition and the promise that she gets all credit.
Very well. As far as she knows, that is the agreement.
And we'll leave off camera any revelations that gives her. Actually, it doesn't give her any. She doesn't put the pieces together. She's not that smart.
We can move on to somebody else.
Yes. Gazelle, Otto, anyone else?
So somebody else has been acting weird since the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Otto's been very quiet lately. And one morning, he's going to get up before Yue wakes up. And he's going to seek out Nampano.
Okay.
Nampano, are you picking berries with Gazelle at this point?
I mean, this is over the course of like weeks, so at some point I'll be foraging with Gazelle. It could be no, could be like early in the morning. You said before UA gets up, so I'd probably be like doing like a communion sort of thing at a small makeshift altar. So, yeah.
Well, Otto's gonna walk up and he's just going to like shift nervously as he waits for you to get done.
Yeah, I'll probably notice you after a little bit. I'm there meditating and praying for a little bit. It looks like I'm deep in thought, but oh, good morning, Otto.
Good morning.
What can I do for you? What can we do for you?
I've been thinking, and you have an ability that looks at things in the past, correct?
I actually couldn't understand that full question. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm sick.
No, it, like the words are cutting in and out, and the echoiness doesn't help.
Otto asks about Napano's ability to look into the past.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes it works better than others, but yes, we can do that.
I was wondering if you could use that ability on my core.
on your core, we can try.
Okay, we're gonna try to do that.
Is there
Oh my god, you're trying to be clever, huh? Okay, well,
Ooh,
Napano, how does play your ability for me, please, so I can look at it?
harmonic resonance.
Mm-hmm.
I already asked and you said we could do this, so.
That's true.
Oh, can she aid me or assist?
Sure, you can roll the d6.
Me?
Add another d6.
Either one of you. You have to roll better than a 1. Surely you will roll better than a 1.
Oh
That's a
shit.
2.
Just
It's an 8.
slightly.
Maybe it's better.
Well.
Could
And
have been another one.
You gave me a low bar.
ooh, so you're just generalizing looking at the past of this thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, hold on. I have to think about this.
You can do it, Mage. Or safe from the trash can.
Maybe I'll
This
ask.
is what This is what happens when you leave us to our own devices.
This is true.
Otto, like, are you looking for something specific?
You don't get something specific because the moment you do this, any attempt to like get something specific is lost.
Okay.
Because
need
here's
it
what
to be.
happens. You don't see like a one event. You see like thousands of events rapid fire piercing through your brain as you watch this core being pulled from ruins. You watch this core being sitting for decades upon decades upon decades upon decades upon centuries and centuries in a ruin, forgotten. And then you see it inside of the body of this metal figure that walks amongst flaming ruins in a distant land you do not recognize. You see it standing amongst people, speaking with them in a voice you do not understand and do not see. You see it speaking with beings like it, so much greater than it that you can see that you cannot comprehend even the might, and you feel it through this vision that these things are stronger than anything you could ever imagine. And they fill you with fear. But then that shifts, and then you see this core outside a skeleton of this metal frame is being inserted into this body. You see the memories of a city on fire with people screaming, running, and fearing for their lives as this figure, this child, walks through the ruins of the city without knowing where he is. You see this child run. You see this child in a field watching the grain and wind pass by. You see so many of these moments, all out of order, rapid fire, piercing through your brain, that it's overwhelming.
We'll do our very best to describe to Otto what we saw, but it's going to be fragmented, and we're not even sure what we saw. Or does that mean anything to you, Otto?
Otto's just gonna shake his head and continue shaking.
Was when you came to us, were you something bothering you? What brought you to ask us to do that?
There's something inside of me, and I don't understand it.
Like another voice?
Another me.
Another you? And are you worried that it will replace you? Or
No.
we know we remember
Sometimes it feels like it controls me.
we've noticed a change in your demeanor whenever we encounter the Cladas, specifically when you obliterated that flesh tree in the ship.
It doesn't like them.
It what?
It doesn't like them.
No? Well, we don't like them either. That's a good thing to have a powerful ally. We think, anyway.
I just want to know what I am.
We were studying with Adam a little bit about the nature of souls, and we can see that you have a soul that's just as real as our own or anyone else in the party. We don't know how it got there, but we know that you're more than just a machine.
That's what scares me.
Why should that scare you? The rest of us all have souls, and that's a good thing, it sounds like. That is fundamental to all things, if we're to believe the Oracle.
But where did I get soul?
Well, the book says sometimes they just materialize. Sometimes they're memories implanted from, other people. It could be a collection of people, not just one. The book specifically said that they're unknowable, and that's what makes them powerful.
So you think my soul is my own?
We know that you have a real soul. It sounds like there might be another personality in there that you don't necessarily understand. We know a little bit about that, what that's like, but we have come to terms with our other self, and maybe you just need to learn how to communicate with whoever else is in there with you.
I feel like there's a lot I still need to learn.
It sounds like it would take a long time to do that. The scenes that we just saw when we looked at your core took place over decades, if not centuries of time, so it's unrealistic for you to expect to know everything about yourself. There's lots that you'll probably forget, even if there is only one soul in there. Lots of us... Gazelle probably doesn't even know what he had for breakfast yesterday.
It was berries.
Well, thank you.
I hope that was helpful. If there's anything else that... It's complicated not knowing exactly what you are.
Yes.
But you're not the only one in our party that is weird.
Weird.
Rude.
I mean, why beat around the bush about it? We're weird. If there's anything else that's troubling you, if we can help you out with anything else about your past, we're happy that you felt comfortable enough to ask us about that.
Thank you.
We can
And
maybe try it again on another day.
can
the
you
DM alone.
keep this from the others for now?
Of course.
I don't want to worry anybody.
Well, Napano's trying to think about what of that would be worrying, but they'll nod and keep their silence for you.
Otto's just gonna nod. Leave you to whatever else you need to do.
Okay. Well, once we're done communing at the altar, Napano's gonna put the little necklace away that was sitting there and probably go find Barry, or Gazelle and Barry, I suppose, and go forage for berries. Otto could come with if he wants to.
Nah, he's gonna go and wake UA up or wait till she wakes up.
Okay.
Did you want to talk to UA, or is that
No,
the end of
I'm good.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. All right. Gazelle. What you doing, buddy?
Uh,
Hmm.
They're
Truth be told,
foraging
Gazelle
for
doesn't know.
berries, obviously.
Sure.
I'm gonna, if Way's not doing anything today, grab him and drag him along.
I mean, Way's just been studying all week, so
Yeah, if you need a break from the library and whatnot, grab you, bring you along.
Sure. So we're all out foraging. Hmm.
Napano is like tapping on different trees and like sticking their hand in different holes and whatnot while they're out looking.
Gazelle's picking every berry he can find. Doesn't matter what kind. And it's always one for you, one for me, one for you, and he's like feeding them to Barry.
Barry doesn't give a shit. He'll eat anything.
Yeah.
Do either of you know this region very well?
No, not really. What about you, Barry?
Mer shrugs.
So you don't
Not
know
really.
if
Barry
those,
doesn't know.
you don't know if those berries are potentially hazardous.
I mean, they might be for you. They're not for
Barry's chewing. Mer.
Barry says they're fine.
Yeah, he says they're fine.
Has Barry grown shoulders to shrug?
He has his body is encompassing more of the staff that it's on.
No.
He is growing back some bits.
Oh no. You're gonna have to take care of him, walk him,
Yep.
and clean up after him.
You're gonna have to trim him down.
I'm fine. I already do that already.
Still,
Oh,
I've
God.
refrained from asking, but my curiosity is getting the best of me here. I wasn't with you when you picked up Barry. What's your attachment to this little guy?
I thought it would be cool to have a head on my staff.
That's your answer. Deal with it.
I mean,
like we do.
that's he's not wrong. Pretty cool.
He's not wrong.
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that.
I've grown to like the little guy though, and he pats Barry on the head.
His head is not that small, but he'll take it. He was very large before you cut off his head.
I mean, yeah, but like,
It's like the size of a watermelon.
His head is still like almost is bigger than your head
yeah,
by quite a bit.
yeah.
Still,
It's like the size of a watermelon.
he's not small. That is funny.
Wait, on the subject of things that happened before we came into the party, we've known you the longest out of everyone, but we might know the least about your history. You were originally trained to be a soldier, is that right?
I did serve for a brief time in the military.
So, why are you part of an adventuring party and not a military unit?
Well, that's a tale for probably another day. I'm essentially ditched the military I was in.
AWOL.
He's a deserter.
A deserter.
After some attacks
Dessert.
and most of the platoon being wiped out, we kind of disbanded and went on our own way.
So, no
Who's
one's
the
gonna
way?
be coming after you because you're a deserter?
I'm not wanted, if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
These are all things Gazelle's actually saying in the moment, by the way.
I figure.
We don't mean to pry or anything. We just think it's interesting that you seem to be the only member of this group that lives by a code when the rest of us are just simply trying to live.
My plan is to see out how the world actually operates before I return home. I think where I'm from, they're just too stuck in their ways. I think they need a little bit of culture.
Ways.
Where are you from?
I'm from your mama's house.
But my mama's dead.
Does he really say that?
Yes.
Wonderful.
So, actually, we don't know where Wei is from. He hasn't divulged that.
It's Loki been so long I forgot the name of the...
I don't believe so, but
Okay.
he may have. I don't remember.
On the faction, he is from
It's West J. Lin, I believe was the name of it. Going off
Correct.
memory here. I have it all written down, but I can't remember Chinese names.
Let me find the nation that you are from. There it is. Gongxing.
Okay. He's not just being sus on purpose like Lyle is. He legitimately didn't know.
He
Vile himself does not remember.
Gotcha. Fair.
Yeah. That's the name of the nation.
Okay.
Fair enough.
It is kind of isolated from all this shenaniganry, thus leading to what Wei described. Kind of stuck in its ways.
Well, that's actually great then. You're not too far away from here. And we don't know what trees to look for. We've been learning to bake. We were told that the cake that we made was lacking in flavor, and it was suggested that we find some tree sap to be drizzled over the top as a sweetener, but we're not familiar with the plants that grow in Zhao, and the last time we just started poking around in random holes in trees, it ended poorly. We let our other self have some control, and they don't normally get to experience taste, so they went a little bit crazy, and we got some unpleasant tastes.
Well, if you're looking for a good topping, we can probably find you some razzle dazzle berries and make a little sauce out of them.
I've got plenty of berries now.
We were thinking like a sap, but maybe a berry drizzle could work too. We wanted to make some.
If you mash the berries, it'll work.
No, they told us it was like a sweetened sap that we needed to put on it to make the cakes right. We're trying to make a cake for Tori because she feels bad. Her dad died, and we want to make her feel better.
I don't know what the bird people prefer. I should know. I've eaten their food.
Well,
Probably seeds.
yeah.
Then berries.
Probably seeds, berries. Just not this berry. Points at berry. Corn. I know chickens like corn. Maybe they do too.
I'm sorry. I thought you was corn.
Wow.
I thought you was corn. It's still funny.
No, but you.
All right, Napano. Let's go look for some berries, and we'll see if we can find maybe some maple tree sap.
I don't know if I need to roll for that or not, but
I'm not gonna make you roll to find berries unless you want to roll for shenaniganry.
shenanigans do sound fun. What do I roll for shenanigans?
Roll for shenanigans 2d6 plus choose a stat.
That's
we'll see how
4
it
for
goes.
me. What stat do I pick? What's foraging? What are we gonna go with?
Wisdom or intelligence.
Intelligence or wisdom?
All right, it's a 4 either way. I'm gonna get
Constitution if you
something
like, you're just
poisonous.
grabbing random shit. Oh my
Damn.
god.
You're the reason why Wei was starving when you found him.
Alright, well, Napano rolled a 10.
So we successfully bottle maple syrup.
You managed to find the one maple tree out here somehow. You're not sure how that works because you don't think those trees grow here. So it's very strange. You swear you see a goblin somewhere, but then maybe not. Maybe those are your illusion.
Oh shit.
But congratulations, you found maple syrup somehow.
Cool. We're gonna make Tori pancakes when we get back.
Pancakes.
'Cause
Pan of
that's-
cake.
We're still trying to figure out what you say to someone to comfort them when they're grieving. We're not good at that.
Oh, all you have to do is say, "I'm sorry for your loss," and then you give them cake.
He's actually not wrong.
I've had to do it a lot.
Who have you lost aside from your wife?
No, I've seen people lose a lot of people.
Oh. And the cake helps?
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Gazelle, how old are you?
I forget.
Okay.
Truly a trove of wisdom. Alright, well, that's all I wanted to do out here. So I'll lay my card down in the sink and end unless either of you want to further it.
Does anyone else want to pick up the card?
Are we gonna run into anyone else out here?
Mm.
If not, I will take the card and force it upon somebody.
Do it.
Do it.
Okay, I will. I pick up the card. I looked at Tori. I slapped Tori across the face with the card.
Ah, roll to dodge.
No. I auto hit, bitch.
I thought I would be. I thought I would have my hands full being, a
You
diplomat.
are having your hands full, and that's kind of what happens, actually.
All right.
You're busy in the castle doing some shit. Maybe at some point you're brought pancakes and condolences by Napano and your friends.
That would make me very happy, actually.
Perhaps you are enjoying these pancakes when a Tengu comes to you bearing urgent news. It's been about a week and a half, let's say,
Mhm.
and this messenger brings you the news that Shang Chan has fallen.
Ah!
Shang Chan has fallen.
Oh, fuck.
Yes,
To whom?
it has been conquered by Kai Shi. They have begun an invasion,
The
and they
princess!
have been sweeping through the nation.
Oh, shit.
But our princess.
Well, Empress Otoru is no longer in power then.
We do not know what her Empress Hotaru is, or her, well, anything really, beyond
Bitch
the
might be
banners
dead.
of Kai Shi being flown over there.
Did Iggy actually fall in battle?
You don't know. It's not clear. It's kind of a bit of chaos right now.
Kaishi is much stronger and larger than Changsha and Rulong is.
It is
Rulong?
the largest nation on Zhao, save for the yellow nation, Kamal, which just has more land. But Kaishi has more actual military power than any other nation in the country, in the continent.
This is not good. King California Roll has Cladis in his circle. And if he takes over more land, it is more likely that the Cladis will spread without as much restraint than they would have if Otaru was still in power. Well, then we're in a really bad place. We are not on good terms with Moros, but then again, we don't really have any established relation with Kaishi.
No, you do not.
King California roll is
I'm clutching my brain. I hate
You
it
wanna-
so much.
we can rename him if you really want to.
At some point.
We should definitely rename.
How about we shorten his name or something?
We can keep it food themed, but cool. How about King Umami?
I like that.
I don't hate that, but I hate that I don't hate it.
It was
Uh,
that or Crunchwrap the Lesser, remember.
No.
That was the other option on the table before
I-
California roll.
I hate everything.
What is the current status of Shang Chan?
The banners of Kaishi are being flown in the city. There was a battle there, but I do not know how bad it was, but it appears to have fallen.
Then the armies of Kaishi have more or less taken over the capital. That would mean that the cities of Krestov, Yokohama, and Alteraam will be next to fall if they don't surrender. Which could mean that the Rulong Empire has more or less been conquered without its empress to preside over them. It won't be very long before that happens either. So, this is odd. If this is what the Morosians want, then they've succeeded. We weren't able to accomplish anything by coming here, but we do have the mask. So that is one thing. And I find it unlikely that the Kaishi will charge up the mountains toward the Tengri village. Unless we antagonize them, which I don't believe would be their first move. We're somewhat secluded up here, and there isn't much for them to gain. So, I don't think that there's much value in them coming here.
Why?
Unless word of your dad falling hasn't reached him and they want to take him out.
That doesn't... No, even Hotaru and the surrounding villages never came up these mountains to conquer or bring
Deal
the
with.
Tengri to
Heal.
serve. Yeah, to heal.
I mean, they also weren't spreading a global catastrophe virus.
No. So,
Why would they conquer Shangcheng militarily rather than just infecting Hotaru and all of their top brass? They had the opportunity before we sounded the alarm that they could have infected the Empress. What does it gain them to militarily conquer the region instead of a silent takeover?
DM says nothing and shrugs.
I don't know that we know the answer. I just want to put that out there because they had the opportunity, I think, to take Hotaru and Egi silently.
I'm not sure.
Who's
Sure.
to say that
They
they
were forced to
didn't.
establish their rule with an iron fist. Or perhaps making an example out of us before they turn their swords toward the other nations. Could be King California Roll's plan is to conquer the entire continent, much like his ancestor.
I mean, you do know that's not uncommon knowledge. He does want to basically be his great ancestor. He wants to be that guy.
He wants to be that guy.
He does. Not because he wants all the wives, but because he wants the power.
Power gets you wives.
Power gets you wives.
That's not really his. He doesn't really care about that. He just wants the power.
Is he gay? Do you want husbands?
He is a piece of shit and
Power
likes
brings-
power.
He can decide whatever he wants once he has the power.
That's right. He can do whatever the fuck he wants when he has everything under his banner.
And whoever he wants.
And whoever he wants, correct.
He's gonna roll all over him.
Get him.
California style. Well, needless to say, all the village and the mountains combined could not stand up to King California roll this, I believe. Therefore, what?
I will say that you do know, having been here, and with Yasuo as your second, you do strategically are probably the safest you could be, considering your position in the mountains.
Yeah.
He probably will not invade without you realizing it, so you're likely safe in that regard.
We have protected this village for generations, and the elevation, steep cliffs, and harsh climate has always protected us from the outside, and it will probably continue to do so.
Tingri villages are also kind of hidden.
Yeah.
So
There's so many paths. You can get them in choke points.
Yep.
He wouldn't have much cause to come up here. Not when he can be focusing his efforts on any resistance from the other cities.
Well, I think we need to figure out if Hotaru is still alive, and if so, maybe bring her here.
Rescuing Hotaru is that's a large bill. If she's anywhere, I'm not sure she'd still be in Shangchan. She might be being kept prisoner or being transported now to the capital of
Well, actually,
California Rolls Empire.
We told her that we were going to the nest, so if she did have the opportunity to flee, she would probably flee here. Eldon might be able to teleport her out or something.
Hotaru may have done that.
That's true. What about Eldon?
I don't believe that Eldon necessarily has too much to concern himself with when it comes to political matters. His first and foremost alliance or allegiance is to the tower, but he was there with the Empress, so perhaps he and the Empress and AG escaped.
If he made it out, it would only make sense for him to come here or back to the tower.
Well, we have two choices here. We can see what intelligence we can gather about Shangchan and see if Hotaru is being held there. We can venture past it to Chengdu, to the capital of Kongjin, and look to see if perhaps she is there, although that would probably result in an encounter with King California Roll. And should we fail, we'll more than likely ensure that the Tengri village nest also falls to the Kongjin, and then to the Cladis by extension. In this case, maybe time to use the stone.
So
we
look
can
for...
There's an idea.
We could use the stone to search for Hotaru. We could find where Hotaru is. We'll need some time to prepare it. But we're not in any sort of time constraint at the moment, so could I just roll for it now? Say we did the ritual, we prepared the stone, and we can roll that thing?
You can. You literally have all the time you want. It's your castle.
Is it a D20?
No, I believe it's still 2d6.
2d6. All right.
I believe. Plus your wisdom.
What is my wisdom again? My wisdom is 0. I actually need to level up. I still need to do that. Because I'm level 7 now.
We only get HP.
We only get HP?
And a move, but this level is HP.
I will get the move later. I'm going to add my HP up real fast. 31 hit points. Okay, then I'll do that other thing later. I'm going to go ahead and roll 2d6 then.
Hmm.
What's my wisdom again?
Okay.
Probably not good enough.
0.
At least it's
Well,
at
we
least
know
it's the safe mode.
it's the safe one, yeah.
Well, it is 9:30, so I guess this is good enough time as any to do this. You attempt to locate Hotaru. You feel yourself moving. Your body moves in that abstraction way that it has before, and you start soaring through the sky, rocketing across the landscape. You head northwestward, but as you close again what you believe the destination is, the connection suddenly is severed as you feel someone look at you.
Oh.
Oh shit! The safety didn't work.
And then you are pulled back into your body immediately with a stone still in your hand. But you still feel someone looking at you, actually.
Huh. This is
You hear a voice speak in the back of your mind. Trying to peek, are we? A voice you do not recognize. Deep, old, kind of tired sounding.
No.
who is that?
You
Right.
feel a current of air behind you. And then you see a glyph of magic runes beginning to carve itself upon your floor.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Time out.
And you watch as it finishes, because I don't think you have a way to really stop it.
Am I in the room seeing this too?
If you want to be there, yeah. If you
I
were
think
all, you were all
we-
talking, so
Did the
Do
ritual.
these glyphs
I wasn't
look
sure if we were
demonic?
actually there or not.
I wasn't
think
sure
it's-
if we were together or not either.
I think it's fair enough to say that everybody was there since they were all
if you want to
chiming
be
in.
there, you can be there.
Okay, Adam's there.
All right.
Do these look like demonic glyphs or like?
No, they
Okay.
they do not remind you of demonic. They are definitely magical. They're more arcane. They write rapidly across the floor, forming a circle, and
Time out.
they finish like faster than you can come up with a solution. Like, what the fuck? Oh shit! What the fuck do we do? By the time you might start coming up with an idea, it's already finished. It's fast. It's surprisingly fast.
I'm going to I don't know if what we're about to see here, but we're in the castle, right?
You are.
All right then. Then I know that we can summon Tengu soldiers to assist us if
You can.
whatever's coming through here.
But what happens is it finishes. There's a pillar of light that fills the room from the circle as a dark shadow appears in this light, erupting from this magic circle, and then the light begins to fade and leaves a figure, a tall figure, standing with his arms behind his back in a long blue robe adorned with a crest upon one of his shoulder blades of a tall tower upon a hexagonal design.
The symbol of the last tower.
Mm-hmm. He
shit.
is dressed in dark blues. He has his entirely covered in this robe, this pant, in his very nice clothes, and this very nicely kept shirt with a. But on top of his head, you don't see like his features. What you see is his neck is covered in like some kind of cloth up until this helmet, which has a very adorned mask on the front of it with 4 eyes on each side. And each of the eyes glows as it looks at you, as the master of the last tower appears behind you.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Oh,
Did I name him? I forget if I named him.
I think you
think
did.
you did. I'll have to
Good
check
job.
my notes. I have a question before we talk to this guy. Whenever we were fighting the cultists on that boat in the woods, they were also wearing blue robes. Should I read into that they may have
Mm,
lost tower connections?
no, that's more
Okay.
just a coincidence. That was not
Guildmaster Natul.
I put it there in the chat for you too.
Where the fuck did I write that in my goddamn notes? God
No.
damn it.
You said it. We wrote it down.
I know.
That is
Yeah.
fact. We can rename him if you want to.
No, I like that name. It's fine. I
Really?
just
You
don't
sure
remember where
you
I put
don't
it.
want us to rename him?
Sorum, stop.
I've got some good ideas.
I hate you.
Let's name him Hot Dog.
I'm not gonna
Baja
tell you unless
Blaster.
you. I'm not gonna tell you this awesome name I have unless you agree for me to change his name.
I don't want your awesome
We
name,
call him Chili
quote
Pepper.
unquote.
Stop.
Chili P.
Jesus Christ.
I was
So
gonna
what's
say.
this guy do?
I'm gonna get interrupted, so now I will not share either.
Natul
Yeah.
stands behind you.
No secret name.
He looks over all of you with his glowing eyes
Hi.
behind
this is
his
Barry.
mask. He looks at the troll head. It's amazing how easily trolls can survive anything.
Yeah, he's pretty
Arr.
cool.
Are you on that staff willingly? It's like, "Meh." Like, oh, they found you. You fought them. Oh, I see. Yeah, Barry starts talking, and you realize he's actually having a conversation with Barry.
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, he
You
speaks.
can understand him too.
Well, yes. I know their language.
Oh,
I know a lot of languages. I've had a
that's
lot
pretty
of free
cool, ain't
time.
it, Barry?
Meh. Barry looks at Barry, then looks at the rest of you. He agrees.
So, you always appear in beams of light in people's homes?
I appear when someone is attempting to pierce into our sanctum. You are the group that
Oh, Eldon must have
Alden.
saved her. Hell yes.
Eldon spoke of, yes?
You
Yes.
know our boy Eldon?
Yes, he is new to our order, and he's a promising student, so. And
He didn't tell me he was a noob. I thought he was someone important. You telling me
I mean,
he's just a baby? He's like
he's been with us for a few
the
years.
new hire, the trainee. Oh my god, this is an outrage. He's gonna hear it
Oh,
from
shut
me.
the fuck up.
Then that makes you the leader of the last tower?
I am the master of the last tower, yes.
That's wonderful. We were going to travel all the way to your location to meet you. This saves us a trip around the world.
Yes.
It is nice to meet you, Master Tower.
That's not my name, but I will take
What's your name
the
again?
nice greeting. A tool.
A tool.
But
sounds like a. It's not very.
Oh,
flattering.
don't say.
Okay. Do you want to finish that sentence? He gives you a look. With his glowing eyes. That he just appeared out of nowhere.
can we
It's lovely.
assume that means that Eldon escaped with Hotaru and Eggy? Are they safe?
If you are speaking of the Empress of Ronglu and her
Princess, yes.
general
consort.
Empress. Consort would be appropriate, I think, but probably would not appreciate me calling him that. But I really don't care.
Same.
Same.
So they're safe.
Yes, upon the fall, there was an agreement made between Eldon and them that he would transport them to safety, given all that is happening lately. I have received his report upon what happened in Shangchun, and I am, as you can imagine, concerned. Now, he also informed me that one of you has an emblem of the last hour, and he would like you to be at least inducted, if not potentially conscripted for the last tower. Which one of you has it?
I think Wade
That
had
would
it.
be me.
Ah, yes.
He's probably the only one of
Oh.
us that deserves it anyway. If I'm being honest with you.
A soldier.
Way will present the emblem.
He looks at it, and he looks at you. He kind of puts a hand to his mask's chin, rubbing it as if it was his chin. Ah, you have some magic in you. Are you a practitioner of the magic arts? No, it's not that. Interesting.
But he's not
The only great
magical.
sorcerer here is me.
No, there's definitely a magical power he possesses. It's innate to him.
Wait, you
He
didn't
kind
tell
of
me
starts
you're
to
a
walk
wizard.
around you, like inspecting you.
I am no wizard. I do not study the magical arts.
And yet, there's a presence to you. It's undoubtable. I can sense it. I feel it. Interesting. I would not mind inducting you to the order. It could be interesting. We have not
Adam
had
just-
many of your skill set join us.
I was under the impression I already was one.
Well, it still requires my final say.
Well,
But
what
I am
about the rest
lenient.
of us?
Well, I'm willing to. I'm willing to, if you wish.
I'm
If that's
okay
what
with
you want.
Adam
I'm cool with being
Adam
adjacent.
crosses
Yeah, Adam. What's up?
Adam crosses his arms and like while he's not like outright being hostile, he does kind of just give Natul a once over real quick and then pipes up. So if Eldon's apprised you of the situation, then you also know about our mechanical friend, yes?
I'm aware. Yes.
And that's not a problem for you?
No, I was the one who commissioned Eldon to go find the core. Why would I be upset that it's already active? All I cared about the time was researching the core myself. It being upon a being such as this is not a problem for me, so long as it consents to letting me examine it. Obviously, I'm not going to tear it apart or anything like that.
Hey, oddball, if he wants to touch you, you don't have to let him. You don't have to consent. Like, don't let the bad man just put his hands.
I wouldn't say I'm a bad man.
Adam just kind of turns his head over to Lyle, like narrowing his eyes.
That's very rude that you would say that.
Hey, listen, Mr. Tool.
That's also very rude.
If you want to, I'm gonna air quotes, examine our little buddy, then what's in it for us?
Connections, power, lodgings, food,
Being able to
transport,
maybe
knowledge.
help us understand the Claudius and how to fight them.
We know how to fight the Cladis. Stab him with souls.
Yeah, we just did it the other day.
I'm interested in hearing
so,
more about
I like
involved souls.
I like your offer.
Perhaps.
We need a moment to mull it over. 1 second, and Lyle's gonna walk over to Otto and say,
Yes,
Let
it's
him
a
touch
situation.
you.
Of course, I'll just stand over here. He sets back and then you form a huddle.
"Guys, I think we should let him touch Otto.
I'm gonna
Otto,
let them have
You
a
need to take one for
conversation.
the team. You need to let him put his hands inside you."
Adam just kind of reaches over and like smacks Lyle in the back of the head. Knock
Ow.
it off.
You know what?
Well, this isn't your average Saturday night.
The idiot doesn't speak for all of us,
Yes,
by the way.
I do.
Can I step in here? I want to ask about the stone, since apparently I'm using it to peer into their sanctum.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have been feeling a presence while using this at times, and I assume that has been you.
I mean, this is the first time I've sensed it. The space you were attempting to look into was the sanctum of the primary sanctum of the last tower.
Okay,
And there
so
are wards to protect it, and
so-
I control most of those wards. I'm familiar with such things as this, so I have warded against it.
So what you're saying is because we invaded your personal space, you sensed us and are now giving us third degree here.
Then Hotaru is at
Yes.
the headquarters. Then Very
Yes. She's under our protection.
Adam
We have
just
given
kind
her
of shrugs his.
sanctuary as a valued friend of the last hour.
But Natul is not necessarily the guy who's spying on us when we use the scrying stone.
That is not specific, so no.
Adam just kind of shrugs his shoulders. I don't see any issues with this. It's like Gazelle over here said. I think it was Gazelle who said it. We were looking to head this way anyway, so this saves us quite a bit of time.
So, Master Natul, question:
Yes.
Since the fall of Shang-Chan, has the cities of Andoran, Krestov, or Yokohama surrendered rule to King California Roll and Kanjin?
I can't believe he named himself that. He really needs to change his name. It's very silly. It's a very silly name. This nation, this country is very silly. But
It was founded by a very unserious emperor.
yes, I'm very aware of that.
I
Now
like
that-
our history. It's silly, but it's ours. Anyway. Do
Now
you know
that
the
he
threat
has
of these-
conquered Shang-Chun, no, never mind.
Those cities are likely going to surrender to his rule, yes. They've not done so yet, as I am aware. But at this point, with the fall of Shang-Chun, Shang-Chun held the majority of the power of this nation. It was centralized there, and with its fall, and the loss of its empress, and the loss of its major general, it is basically inevitable that they will surrender at this point. If not, better that than more bloodshed, of course.
That would be pointless under the
At this
threat,
point,
but-
yes. But that is the nature of nations and empires, consuming each other until they break, and then it all starts over again.
There are more things that I would like to talk to you about. So, but yes, I would ask that you examine Otto. He's I have a lot of questions about him too. And
Oh, I have many things I wish to ascertain of to his nature, but yes.
granted,
Signify his consent, then
yes, granted he's all right with it. Makes his
If
own.
that's my mom.
Ask
Yue
my mom.
looks uncomfortable with this masked man who has glowing eyes and no visible skin. And is a wizard-ass wizard if you've ever seen a wizard.
If ever there was.
He is a wizard of a wizard.
Almost as good as me.
NPC has to roll against the DM.
She looks to Otto and is trying to determine if Otto is okay with it, because that is what she's most concerned about.
And Otto is looking at her to make sure she's okay with it.
So both kind of unsure then, because they
Meanwhile, Shere Khan's just kind of staring up at Natul, just kind of staring
Hello
as
there.
a dog would do, essentially.
He wants
He reaches
pets.
down and goes to pet him without
Nice.
any hint of fear at all.
Adam just kind of smirks as he watches the interaction.
In
That's
fact,
it's a good boy.
there's a thing to note. Even though you have him completely outnumbered, he's in a castle surrounded full of Tengu, and you can almost tell he knows that, and he is not intimidated at all.
Well, no, he's a powerful wizard. I'm
Yep.
sure
Sure, as quickly as he teleported in, he can teleport out.
And probably do way worse.
Plus, not necessarily. We are, as far as I'm concerned, still allied with the Order of the Last Tower. Eldon is just the only one that we've ever seen, and this is the Master that we have heard of. So him showing up here to start trouble would be unlikely, uncharacteristic.
Also, we don't know what there was between him and Ares, but there's a new big bird in town, and it behooves him to, make alliances with the new ruler.
Big bird.
So
If he had any connections at all.
Lyle is going to insight check this guy as he's petting the Shere Khan, and he kind of takes note of the fact that this guy seems, as you said, totally unfazed by the fact that he just poofed into a castle full of people that theoretically should be able to mark his ass, and seems unbothered. And Lyle's seen enough wizards to know that there's probably a good reason for that. So he's going to say, Mr. Master in a tool, he says, seemingly cleaning up his act just a little bit. If I may ask you a question, since you've so graciously jumped into our personal space here. You're you're like knowledgeable about stuff, right?
Stuff and things.
Stuff and things, yeah.
He stares at you for a moment. I know many things, yes.
Again, the idiot doesn't speak for all of us.
Do you know many things about I don't know, like let's hypothetically say like parasites that get into your body and mess with your head?
More than anyone else on the planet, yes.
You wouldn't happen to just carry a bottle of medicine for something like that, would you?
He stares at you for a minute.
Just asking. You don't need to stare that hard.
And just slightly tilts his head.
I think I should go.
No, I don't think you should. I think you need to elaborate what you just said.
Well, I mean, we've seen some stuff, things.
I think you need to tell me exactly what you're talking about right now.
Oh, well, if you insist. I mean,
You did almost die.
I have this friend. You see.
This friend.
His friend. And he might have been chewed on by, like, a horrific flesh monster that came from a horrific flesh tree. Like, I don't know, I wasn't there, but that's my understanding.
He started to step towards you, actually, now.
Well, I was going to step back.
You made a friend in the last town?
I have friends all over. It's,
Friends in Muros?
Muros? Who said anything about Muros? I don't know anything about Muros.
Do you hear voices in your head?
Like, right now?
Yes, right now.
That
are not yours.
Just the one telling me that this was not a great idea.
Is it yours? Is it your voice that's saying that? It is right, but is it yours?
Yes, pretty sure. I don't hear that voice that often, if I'm being honest with you, but I'm pretty sure it's mine.
Hold still. Do not move.
Oh my god, he does have a conscience.
He steps very quickly towards you and reaches out to put a hand on your face.
Lyle is going to pull his head back and then walk and hide behind Adam.
Adam just kind of stares as well, now he's between Lyle and Natul. After a few seconds, he just kind of
I don't consent to touching.
after a few seconds, he actually just kind of leans forward a little bit.
Yeah, touch Adam. He consents.
I've heard something. If you
Otto is going to step between Lyle and this guy.
A tool. Oh.
A tool.
Tori's also
but yeah,
going to join
Adam
the
kind of
and
explains that like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Tori's also going to step beside Otto. And she's not going to draw her weapon or anything, but she is going to say, you need to explain what you're going to do first.
Gazelle's just eating the berries like popcorn and sometimes feeding them to Barry while watching.
I'm determining how far along he is to determine if he is a lost cause or not.
How far along?
I'm not pregnant.
He's pregnant?
I'm not! I swear to God.
I mean, the way you go
Don't.
it's not surprising.
Adam just kind of looks over at Gazelle like, don't give him any ideas.
Whoa, wait. Can you get pregnant from something my friend did?
Oh my god.
With a flesh
In a
beast,
matter
yes.
of speaking, I suppose, yes.
If you would like to touch me, I consent.
Just come here. Let me put your hand up on your head.
Yes, sir.
If he wants, I'm moving out of the way.
He just kind of waits to see how Adam just kind of waits to see how this goes. But he
puts a hand on Lyle's head, he's not like grabbing his face to crush his skull. He's just like placing his hand upon his head.
I still flinch at the
And
touch.
Lyle, the minute he does that, all the sound around you just kind of goes. Boom.
Is screaming still a free action?
If you did, you wouldn't be able to hear it.
Fuck.
In fact, no sound would come out of your mouth.
That makes
You are kind of locked. You're like, you try to open your jaw and it just doesn't move.
Oh, I'm frozen.
And you feel like a pulse of energy move through your skull like once, twice, 3 times. The tool's like eyes on his mask, like the light narrows, and he like turns his hand on Lyle's head, and Lyle, you feel like it almost burns for a minute in like your skull.
I silently scream.
You try, you can't move your jaw. You can't move. Like you're stuck in place.
I internally scream.
You internally scream all you want. And he like
Hope you can
winces, like, please stop making that noise. It's very loud.
Oh.
I say no, thank you, and keep doing it.
He shakes his head. And after a moment of like burning in your brain, that second space in like your mind where that voice is, you can tell shrinks. Like pretty significantly. You will lose 2 ticks on that clock.
Hey,
he exterminates the infection in your brain.
To a degree.
To a degree.
Keep going.
He,
I'm sure there's nothing left.
He doesn't. You can tell it's there because you were the closest to being fully, like, not fully turned, but like moving to the next stage. But because you're in stage 1, and he knows a lot of things. He knows how to deal with it somewhat. He can't get rid of it fully. And then after like that burning sensation washes over your brain, it kind of surges through your body, like almost searching for like any further infection before he releases his hand, and now you suddenly have full motion. So if you want to continue, if you want to scream out loud, you can.
I begin screaming, yes.
He slaps you across the face.
Ow.
Stop screaming. You're fine. I have dealt with your infection somewhat.
Somewhat.
It will require more long-term treatment to fully get rid of it.
Do you have to remove my brain?
No. That would make it easier, though.
Mm.
And we would be able to keep you alive. I cannot promise it would be pleasant. because it won't.
I'm open-minded
can be
to waiting
Can
things
it be
out.
removed? Can it be removed? Is your question? Yes.
Adam just nods. Yeah, he
At
wants
this stage, it can. You're very lucky that you were not in the second stage. That becomes more complicated.
Are they a threat to the rest of us in this stage, or is the Gladys spying on what we do through their eyes?
Not. It requires progression to really get to that point. As it is, it's just a.
Will they get
It's a
infected by my
seed
cooties
at most.
in this stage?
No.
Not infectious?
No, not as of currently. No.
Sweet.
You would
So
need
what
to
you're
reach the next
saying is,
stage.
I don't have to worry about that drug I took so long ago.
He stares at you for a second. Can I just? He just waits for you to come closer. Just let me check, just to be sure.
Gazelle like shrugs and just walks over.
He puts a hand on your head. Your body kind of freezes up as you feel pulse of energy surging through you, and then he actually quickly removes it from your head. Like, no, it appears your natural resistances actually helped you keep it off. That's actually surprising. Actually, it's not surprising. It's good work.
Hey, Majay, question real fast.
Yes,
Did I roll? I failed that 2d6 roll earlier, right? Did we get another tick on the amulet?
you did. I already ticked it up.
Thank you.
It is ticked
You're
up,
welcome.
yes.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay. Well, since you know better than everyone else what this threat is, can you tell us a bit more about it? What it's trying to do? How we can fight it?
I will need to wrap up soon, please.
Probably that too, or maybe start next time with that.
I think what he says, so I kind of hand it off, regarding your mechanical friends, consent or not. If he is uncertain as of yet, we can decide that later. If you require more information about the Cladis and information of its origins and what it is capable of and ways it has been attempted to be combated before, I think best for you to learn that at our sanctum. If you would join me, I can
Road
take you all
trip!
there. Wouldn't be so much a road trip as we were going to be going directly there immediately.
You
Immediately,
can teleport
If
the
you
whole
want to
group.
think of it that way.
we are. I have to say, Mr. The tool guy.
Master Tower.
We are kind of in a predicament where we are managing, and by we are I mean our servant Yasuo is managing a total political restructuring, and this might require some of our attention. So, do you
I can return in a week and take you there if that is what you wish. Or-
that's kind of what I was getting at. Do you think you give us a minute to get our affairs in order before we take a road trip?
Very well.
I'm not exactly sure we should wait, because if we stall for more time, worse things could happen.
Gladys
Maybe-
is going to give us a minute.
It may
Yeah,
be
quit being a baby.
it may be it's probably imperative to go there now. So
I'm kind of scared though, if I'm being frank. Just
we've
saying.
only been in the nest for a week and a half, but so much has changed already. We
I
really
can bring
can't
you back
sleep. We really
as
can't
quickly as
sleep
I have
on-
arrived, and as
Well-
quickly as I can take you there. If that is what you require, is quick transport to and from, I can provide that.
Bro, can you
I
give
am
us
willing
like
to expend the magic to do so.
can you give us like a crystal ball that can see what's going on here? That'd be cool.
Maybe
I don't
I
know.
can see what I can do.
Can
An
you, like,
upgrade from the stone would
rig
be
up some artifacts for that, like a two-way one. Like if we put one
Let
here
us.
that Yasuo
Let's.
has, and then another one that we
let's-
have, and then they're
He
connected.
puts a hand over your mouth. Let's.
Adam just laughs.
How about we all decide if you are going to be coming to the sanctum now or in a week?
24
Are you
hours.
coming now?
24
No.
hours.
Nod. nod or shake head.
Let me.
What's the rest of you?
Do any of you have any business that must be handled now? Because I believe Yasuo can handle being the regent, or I can step out of this city for, or the village for at least a day.
Adam just
Yeah.
gives a thumbs up, like he's
I've got
good to
plenty
go.
of berries to keep me.
I mean, I'm sure by now there are several Tengu who've shown up and are seeing what we're seeing.
Bro, if you just put your wig on Yasuo, they won't even know you're gone.
I've gotten kind of attached to it, so I think I'm gonna keep wearing it. But you know, if you
Isn't
have
that like kind of
your
racist
hair,
too?
It's a little racist.
it's. I mean, if you hate wigs, I don't know.
You say it's a little roostist?
No, racist.
Let's pretend that I did.
I feel like that's a bird insult, and I will kick your ass, old man.
I'm going to take your conversation as a nod of the head. Yes, yes, very
Auto
good.
nods.
Adam just keeps his thumb up.
Thank you for the quick response. I'll learn all your names eventually. Well, we'll do proper introductions in the comfort of my own home, as that is more comfortable for me. And also, I have research to get back to and all that. So, are you all
Yasuo, hold down the
prepared?
fort.
We will leave immediately.
Well, Yasuo, hold down the fort. Tengu, obey Yasuo's order until I return.
He does a salute. He slams a fist against his chest and bows, and they follow suit. And with that affirmation and confirmation, Natul waves a hand and snaps a finger as a larger glyph forms around the entire party.
I hate teleportation magic.
It's happening rapidly. You can still jump out if you want.
No, I just remember being dangerously close to vomiting when Laris did it, so...
Yasuo
Oh, she
will,
wasn't very good at it.
and not sure how Yasuo will treat you if you abandon me at the last second.
Me and Yasuo are tight.
I don't know.
We're not.
He
Shakes
might
head.
not be
Shakes
too
head.
happy with you.
Yasuo! You know what? I am going with them.
Goodbye.
Wow. Wow.
And then as soon as it finishes, a pillar of light engulfs all of you,
I scream.
and you disappear. Your scream, silence,
I guess that's
and you
where
were
we
taken
leave it
away.
Is it scary?
I mean, if a big flash of light in a big magic circle is scary, yes.
off. I'm kind of scared. It's a little scary.
You are teleported. And that is where we leave off for tonight.
Okay.
That was pretty good.
That's good.
I'm
The
scared.
rock finally came in for that Deus Ex Machina. It was always planned to be.
Yeah, that's the best roll you ever fudged.
I rolled progression. Great. I rolled progression.
You did. You had things happen.
Well,
You get
Right.
an experience for that. That's pretty cool.
that was
You do, yes.
I think that's really all I get.
As far
for
as our
that session.
questions go, I think that we, at the very least, got that point on changing a noteworthy location, but with this taking over
Yes,
the country.
I would agree.
I think that's
Wait,
probably
did-
all we got going for us, but
Which one?
this one,
The
your village.
Your village that you're taking control of and have just structurally changed it? Yes.
I thought that I had taken that point in the last session, but I will take it again.
Wow.
That's fine.
Wow.
It is changing a lot.
You did not really overcome a notable obstacle or enemy.
Didn't really learn much either. Maybe a little, but
Not really, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't.
I think that's coming next time.
Yeah.
I'll take my one.
Maybe
XP.
a couple.
Be happy with it.
Yeah, maybe a couple people's bonds ticked a little bit, but
Yeah.
I would need to look over that. Has Yasuo come around to liking me yet?
He doesn't hate you, I guess. He doesn't hate you.
Like is a
Hmm.
strong word.
Like is a strong word, but he doesn't
All
outright. You don't think he's planning your death.
That is an improvement. My
It
bond
is
with
true.
Yasuo just says that he's a hard sell, and he wants me dead, but I think he'll come around. So if he no longer wants me dead, I think that resolves that one.
You did help.
I think that Yasuo, if he likes anybody in the party, he likes Gazelle. He's funny.
I'm going to take an EXP and resolve my bond with Yasuo, but I'm not going to make a new one because Yasuo is no longer a party member.
Yeah, not really.
So
He's
I-
going to be staying home.
I will resolve his bond.
Say goodbye to Yasuo as I shrink him slowly.
Bye, Yasuo.
Bye.
Bye, Yasuo.
Goodbye, Christy.
Bye.
Goodbye,
A better
Cranky Kong.
NPC than I thought he'd be.
Ah!
Whoa, he's big!
Ah!
Oh, it's big!
Too
Giant
big.
Yasuo!
Too big.
Kaiju Yasuo.
Kaiju Yasuo.
Oh, he got me.
No.
All right, we're gonna end it off here.
Okay,
We've already ended recording.
let's hit the switch.
Bye, YouTube.
YouTube.
Goodbye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye.
Butts.
Booba.
Butts.
Booty.
Jeez.